Bridget Canning. I'm a writer and an educator, and this is my story about mental health, and I'm going to talk about stress. I think when it comes to talking about mental health, part of me, stress comes to mind right away, and it immediately feels kind of cliche because we all have stress. Stress is natural. Stress is helpful for us as human beings. But for myself, I think I would have what you call a busy mind, and I also have a very good memory, and that has kind of compounded like the way I deal with stress in certain ways. I remember a few years ago there was this, I don't know if it was a magazine article or just a post that was going around on social media, and it talked about, there's this guy saying, I just learned that not everyone has a constant internal monologue running in their head all the time. Some people process their thoughts as like sensations or colors or feelings. And I remember reading that and thinking, wow, that would be really nice to not have a constant voice or voices in your head that are commenting or berating or reminding or observing or giving you a list of should've, could've, would'ves and things like that. I thought how nice it might be to just have kind of a break from the mind jail that way. So I do kind of have that. I often have a constant internal monologue going on in my head, to the point that sometimes I really hate it when someone warns me about something, like, oh, no, be careful now when you're pulling out the driveway or something, because I'm like, well, obviously I've already worried about that, so you don't need to tell me. So because this is how my brain works, I kind of learned at an early age that journaling works really well for me. If I put down the busy thoughts and the monologue on paper, it helps us kind of get it out of the whirlwind in my head. And that also helped me learn how to write. I also think over the years, because of that, I tend to write about things that I'm afraid of or they cause me dread. So using my stress this way and putting it down helps me to analyze it and then build stories. And also, where I'm an educator, you always have 10,000 things to do. So writing has really helped me to focus with that. But on the other side of that, the struggle, the imbalance has been, basically that nagging voice that will wake me up at 3:30 every single morning at the same time. There's been physical manifestations of that. The dentist told me that I've ground off half a molar from grinding my teeth in my sleep. I developed eczema in my 20s, and I woke up with like dissipated eczema all over my body. So I will actually wake up scratching myself, things like this. I've tried things like working out to the point that I'm just basically too tired to sleep. I've tried sleeping pills. I've tried, reading myself to sleep, some things like that. But it is very hard to kind of just turn off that, as I said, the running monologue. I've even done things, I think this has actually helped me the most, is that the negative voices, I have named them. They've made them one person. I've given her a name. I've drawn pictures of her. I've written a character sketch. And sometimes when the stress gets really bad and I'm hearing all this, like, oh, you should have done this, for this berating voice, I actually have a name and a face that I can tell to F off and leave me alone. So that has been quite helpful. So basically, when I think about mental health, and when I think about the importance of that, I mean, something like, if we don't have ways to manage our stress, that is going to undermine so many things in our life. So I believe that mental health should be considered a human right. We aren't disembodied heads and bodies. Everything is holistic, and it's important that we think of ourselves and our health that way. Thank you.